like the weather. Now, who else knows about the weather other than our final guest? He's Welsh to start off with, but going past all that and looking past that, everybody, he's been banging his bongos and his drums for the past few months and has brought us all a lovely smile from his little freckly face. It's the only one and only Mr. Owain Win.
Hello! Oh my gosh, my darlings, I'm so excited to be here. Oh my gosh, look at my hair. There's not enough volume in the hair at the moment. Let's sort that out first.
Oh,
there we go. How are you both?
We're good.
Yeah. Oh, I can't hear you.
In the background.
Oh, is that the drum kit in the background?
Yeah, there's the drum kit there. Let me get out of the way. Hang on. Let me pan down, as they say in the biz. There we go. It's my lovely DW drum kit.
Because you're not just a weatherman anymore, darling. You're a drummer.
I can't seem to hear. Hang on, let me unplug my earphones. Let's see if I can hear you both now.
Can you hear us?
Darlings, are you there? Yeah. Oh, see, this is the magic of live broadcasting, isn't it?
If it's not one thing, it's another, Michelle.
I can hear you. But Michelle, I can't hear you. Let me put my extra long cables back in, everyone.
Can you hear me now, Owain?
Yes, I can hear you, darling. Yay, it's working. Apologies if that was my technology playing up then, darlings.
It's fine. I was saying, darling, that you are a drummer like Phil Collins now.
Well, you know what? It was, it's been a bit of a shock, really, Shell, you know, what's happened over the past kind of couple of months, because these are not normally here. They're normally in storage upstairs, and it's the most expensive cat bed that I've ever bought because they're normally in cases, and the cat loves the cases. But just thought, you know, I'd set them up because I used to be a semi-professional drummer, and you know,
how long have you been playing drums for, Owain?
So yeah, that's what happened, and.
Because if anybody hasn't seen it and, you know, slap their wrist for not seeing it, you actually, at the end of a broadcast, started doing the drumming to the theme song for BBC News. And then it just went crazy. Everybody loved it.
Yeah, it was, you know, it was just a bit of fun to start off with, you know, you two. And I just thought, why don't we put some rock drums over the BBC News music, because it's a banger, and why not start that off with like a super camp weather forecast? Because, you know, I guess that's kind of what I do. So yeah, that the rest just kind of unfolded. And I knew, you know, quite quickly after posting it that it was going to go down quite well, because it was just getting like hundreds of likes every minute. And then Australian TV picked it up, and then some of the American broadcasters picked it up. And I guess from there, it just snowballed, and now it's had 5.5 million views on Twitter, and they think about 7 million views on Facebook. Wow! Like, I can't believe it.
It's been amazing. Did you ever think that the drumming would ever... Can you not hear me?
Can you hear her, Shell?
I can hear Belinda. I try and zone her out.
I can't hear Belinda. Do you know what's going on?
You couldn't hear her before. Michelle, ask him how long has he been playing drums for?
I hear you, darling. I can see you.
Owain, I'm going to ask the question that Belinda's trying to ask. And Belinda wants to know, how long have you been drumming for?
I started drumming when I was 9. So I was quite a kind of flamboyant child, as you can imagine. When I asked my parents for a drum kit, they were like, really? You want a drum kit? So they bought me this toy drum kit first, which didn't last very long. And then, you know, I was still playing and just having a lot of fun with it. And it was, the things I'd like to play were things like Joseph and His Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I've always had a touch of musical theatre about me, darling. So my father said that he knew when I had Joseph on, because he knew the drum beat, because I would like incessantly play that soundtrack over and over like an obsessed child. And then I ended up in some school bands. And then by the time I was like 18 or 19, I was kind of, you know, recording stuff in some recording studios. And yeah.
And what about the weather forecasting? Where did that come from?
Yeah, so how did the weather forecast then kind of come into it?
So I got a job with the BBC when I was 18 as like a kids TV presenter, and then from there I kept the drumming as a hobby. Was always interested in the environment and that sort of stuff, and then ended up basically doing the weather essentially. So fast forward, having worked in a couple of different places and doing different things, I ended up doing the weather for Look North in Yorkshire, and then I got the Northwest Tonight job. And as you two know, I was speaking to you two only recently, actually, at Radio Manchester, because I've been doing some stuff for them too. I moved over to the Northwest as far as kind of broadcasting is concerned. So drumming and doing the weather don't actually sit hand in hand very comfortably. So just thought it would be good to do it. Yeah.
Is mainstream presenting where he wants to go?
Yes, well, I was going to ask, the words came right out of my mouth, Belinda. What I would say is, obviously, everybody has taken you to their hearts, Owain. Really have.
Thank you,
I mean,
darlings.
we're getting some amazing messages in about you. There's a lot of love out there, and you must know that anyway. But
that's so lush.
You mentioned the drumming. You're doing the weather, broadcasting. You've been on BBC Radio Manchester. We now hear you on the weekend with Helen Skelton on Radio 5 Live.
Yes.
And you're doing the blooming One Show.
Yes.
What next?
Oh, honestly, who knows? I'm just enjoying it and just trying to, make the most of it, I guess. And the One Show stuff has just come off the back of that, I suppose. I was on it talking about this lockdown orchestra thing that I did with a Philharmonic, and then I did a film for them last week on holidays.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see it?
I did.
Darling, I had so much Factor 50 on, you would not believe, honestly. But can I just say to everybody watching as well, this is hilarious because I can see Michelle and I can see Belinda, but every now and then Belinda just I can see you moving, darling, but I can't hear you. So, Michelle, you're like a medium.
I know. It's the best way to control Belinda. We turn her sound off.
Have her on mute. Chuck her on mute. I wish I could hear you, darling. I'm sorry about this. I think it's my technology. I think it's my extra long cable. It must be this.
It's okay.
It's only £2 off eBay. So.
Don't worry. Our Anthony, if you can see at the bottom there, Owain,
yes.
You need a spiritualist to ask Owain your questions, Belinda. So,
Michelle, can you ask Owain?
That's a great idea.
To make his way to the drums and play us a quick drum beat, please.
I would love to, Belinda. As Belinda just asked, could you give us a little bit of a tune on the drums? I know yesterday you did the Backstreet Boys.
Yes, I did the Backstreet Boys, and I wasn't expecting that to do as well as it did.
It was good.
6,000 likes now on Twitter, and I was thinking I just did it for a bit of fun, darling, Right, okay, yes, of course I can play the drums for you. Now, shall I take my extra long cable with me, or shall I leave you two here?
Leave us here.
Right,
leave us here.
So I'm going to get behind the drums now, put those there.
There we go.
Play you a little something. I don't know what yet. Let's see.
Oh,
Turning,
amazing.
Turning.
Do you know what?
How was that?
You were amazing. We want to come round to your house and be in lockdown with you. Not just for your drum kit, because you've got an amazing garden. I've seen you presenting your garden.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to have a look at it? Is this very unprofessional that I'm taking?
Take us out.
Come on, darlings. I'll take you to the window.
So who does your pruning?
Well, it's a sort of joint thing, really, between me and Aaron, my husband.
That is gorgeous.
It's a lovely garden, and I do my weather from out there, So this is the dining room. I either do it from in here or
Michelle, can you ask him what the weather's going to be like for the rest of this week, please?
I knew where you were going with that one. Belinda asked, what is the weather going to be like for the rest of the week? Because you can't go without giving us a forecast.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to give you to the forecast. Well, it's looking good. If you like sunshine, everyone, and if you like rising temperatures, it's looking good. High pressure is going to take over. So if you're pale and interesting like myself, make sure you get the factor 50 on, because we are most certainly going to see high UV, high pollen as well. Actually, over the next couple of days, yeah, loads of sunshine and much, much warmer. So looking good, really.
Oh,
Do you know what?
amazing.
You bring the sunshine into all our lives. Just
Oh,
seeing you here.
darlings. Thank you
Amazing.
so much. I've loved chatting to you both, and I'm sorry about the technology cable issue.
That's not a problem, tell him.
Well, I thought it was hilarious. It's the only way I get a word in.
I'm going to watch this back now. As soon as I get off, I'm going to watch it back. Thank you for having me.
Michelle, will you thank
so
our
much.
lovely guest for us?
Thank you, darlings. Lots of love to you both. Mwah.
Stay safe.
fabulous.
Lots of love.
Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of love, darlings.